Hello and thank you for clicking on my channel. My name is A and this is the Real Movie Podcast. And today I want to talk about a really fun surprise, which is a movie called Prey. In 1987, a movie came out which was called Predator. So, that movie starred Arnold Schwarzenegger as the main lead and they were up against a monster which turned out to be one of the most iconic monsters in the history of cinema. This monster, which is called the Predator, has worked his way into video games like Mortal Kombat. We have a character called Predator. It's the same character as the movie Predator that you can choose in the game. I don't remember which Mortal Kombat it was, and it is so iconic in the pop culture. I remember one when Barney Stinson wanted to pick up a girl and he was acting like the Predator monster. And yeah, he's really iconic. The original movie was perfect in every way. It was good, it was great, it had a good star, and the story was really good. But the sequels to that movie, well, I just have to say that the sequels were so bad that they had to make a prequel of that movie, and the movie Prey is the prequel of the movie Predator. The director of this movie is Dan Trachtenberg. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly or not, but when I searched his name, he also directed a movie called 10 Cloverfield Lane, and that was a good movie as well. It had kind of the same atmosphere. John Goodman played in that one. The actors of this movie, well, they're really unknown, but I have to say that they all did a perfect job. This story happens where the Indians were not still discovered, and by Indians I don't mean the people who live in India, I mean the Indians, the original Americans, I could say. So they're living and they are hunting and stuff, and we follow this girl. She's called Naru, who wants to be a hunter, and she realizes there is something which is hunting in the woods, and it's not a bear or a lion, it is something different. And we follow this girl who wants to kill this monster. What I liked about this movie, first of all, the simplicity of the plot. It was so simple and beautiful. It was exactly like watching The Predator, the first movie, but this movie made the script its own. It was not a copy of the first movie. Everything was different. The story was different. The protagonist was different, but the simplicity was still the same, and that made the movie really interesting for me. And also I have to mention that the small scale and the small risks, or I could say the small stakes of the movie, was really perfect. I mean, we don't have to see the predator in the town, and the army gets involved and FBI, CIA and all of those. It was just a small village and people wanted to hunt monsters. They wanted to hunt because they wanted to feed themselves. There were some symbolic moments in this movie that introduced the Predator perfectly to me. For example, there is a scene where you see a spider and a mouse catches this spider, and then a snake kills and eats the mouse, and then we see the Predator that kills the snake. We have almost a similar scene with a wolf catching and killing a rabbit, and then the Predator kills the wolf. We also see the Predator kills a bear. So it means that it wants to be the apex predator, the top of the pyramid, top of the food chain of that area. And it was shown really perfect. We didn't hear any dialogues or anything. It was step by step, and it was really good and symbolic. And I really loved that the Predator has its code. It is intelligent monster. It is not dumb. It has a code. It takes souvenirs from its prey. For example, we see a wolf. When he kills the wolf, he has his head skeleton, and when he kills the snake, he skins the snake. He has its code, and he only wants to hunt the hunters because he wants to be the main guy of that area, the main hunter of that area. Again, as I said, the apex predator. And the action scenes were really satisfying. They were as satisfying as a fatality in the Mortal Kombat. They were so brutal, they were so extreme, and some of those poor guys got overkilled. And it was exactly how the Predator, if it was real, would hunt. the tension that the movie created was really good, because whenever the movie seemed like it was going to have an action sequence, it didn't rush to it, it took its time. I can say most of the action sequences paid off. And about the things that I disliked in this movie, well, I don't have actually many things to say. It is just something personal. Didn't like the Predator itself, the face, because I think the first Predator, it was perfect, it was scary. I know that my history is off, I'm not correct, I'm not a historian, but these Indians were so modern and American for Indians. I mean, they could have studied a bit more for those Indians. They talked a lot and they were a bit intellectual and they were a bit smart. For a group of people that haven't seen anything of the more modern times, they were a bit too clever, or I don't know, too elaborate. It wasn't like it's bad. Again, like the Predator's face, it's something personal. Many people might like it, but I felt like some of those dialogues could be removed, and I think that it is one of those cases where less is more. And that's it. Yeah, final words. The movie the movie Prey is really good. I really hope you have the time to watch it, because it's not that long either. And yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have anything to say or any movies that you want to suggest. That's it. As always, thanks. Bye.